So, dear loving children, now we will study about double fertilization. Double fertilization means the fertilization take place twice. That is the characteristic feature of all the angiosperms. As we studied that two male gametes are released in the ovule, one fertilizes the egg, another fuses with the polar nuclei which is present in the center. So their triploid structure is formed, that is known as endosperm, which provide nourishment to the developing embryo. Always first endosperm form, then only the embryo formation begins. And one male gamete which fuses with the egg, it forms zygote. And zygote form embryo. So that only we are going to discuss. This process was demonstrated first time by Noaschin in 1898. I already explained why it is called a double fertilization, because here fertilization takes place twice. As two male gametes are released, one fuses with the egg and another fuses with the polar nuclei. So one which fuses with the egg forms zygote, and one which fuses with two polar nuclei, it forms triploid structure, that is 3N. Three sets of chromosomes are present there, and that is known as endosperm. Now this flow diagram I also made to make you easy to understand that two male gametes are there. One fuses with egg. As a result, zygote is formed, and zygote undergo mitotic division. Zygote is a diploid structure which undergo mitotic division to form embryo. And another male gamete that fuses with the two polar nuclei and forms primary endosperm nucleus. Later on, it forms a mature endosperm. See, post-fertilization events. Development of endosperm from primary endosperm nucleus. As I told you, as a result of triple fusion, that primary endosperm nucleus is formed. So endosperm is formed later on from the primary endosperm nucleus. Then development of embryo also takes place from zygote by mitotic division. Then development of seed takes place from ovule, mature ovule, and development of fruit takes place from the mature ovary. Other floral parts, that is calyx, corolla, all fall off. Now endosperm development. As I told you, first endosperm development takes place, then only embryo development takes place, because embryo get nourishment from the endosperm. So primary endosperm cell that divide repeatedly form triploid endosperm. Cells of this tissue filled with reserve food materials which is used for the nourishment of developing embryo. Now, primary endosperm tissue. It undergoes successive nuclear division to give rise to free nuclei, that is endosperm, called free nuclear endosperm, that is present in the coconut. Whatever the water is present in the coconut, actually that is free nuclear endosperm. And we know that white part that we know as the kernel in the coconut, that is a cellular endosperm actually. After this, ball formation takes place from periphery towards the center, and endosperm cellular, that is white part of coconut. So free nuclei is what? That is the water present in the coconut. So that we called as a free nuclear endosperm. Embryo development. As I told you, zygote undergo mitotic division at micropylar end, because egg is also present at the micropylar end of the embryo sac. So there only embryo formation takes place. Endosperm provide the nutrition. So in the beginning, proembryo is formed, and that proembryo is actually globular shape, and later on heart-shaped embryo is formed. See this diagram, global embryo, that is a pro-embryo formed after mitotic division of zygote. Later on heart-shaped embryo is formed. Now embryogeny in digote. So when zygote, in the beginning zygote undergo transverse division, that is TS, along the radius. So it forms two cells. One is large and other one is small. Small is a apical cell, large is a basal cell. Basal cell enlarges and undergo transverse division, because although it is large, so it forms 6 to 10 cells that we called as a suspensor. Then first cell of the suspensor towards the micropilar end is known as this one, see, histonium. Whereas last cell of suspensor towards chalagial end is called hypophysis, which develop into radicle, and we know that radicle give rise to root. And a small apical cell undergoes vertical division to form two cells. Then two cells again divide transversally and form four cell. Four cell divide vertically to form 8 cell pro-embryo. And then these 8 cell, 4 cell present at the apex give rise to shoot, and 4 cell and another 4 give rise to hypocotyle except its tip. Hypocotyle, that is a region present below the cotyledons, and it helps to form a root cap. Children, I made a flow diagram to make you understand that zygote, it undergo transverse division, form two large basal and small apical cell. Large basal cell undergo transverse division to form 6 to 10 cell known as suspensor, and last cell of a suspensor that form radicle. Radicle give rise to root, and the small apical cell which undergo vertical division. Then two cells will be formed. Each cell undergo transverse division, give rise to 4 cells. 4 cells divide vertically to give rise to 8 celled pro-embryo. Pro-embryo is the beginning form of embryo. Then here 4 cell at apex, it form the plumule, and you know plumule give rise to shoot, whereas 4 cell give rise to hypocotyle. That is the reason just below the cotyledon. The flow chart what I had shown to you, that is only for your convenience to make it easy to learn. Okay, but in the exam no need to make it like this. You have to describe it. Just see this diagram. Plumule, cotyledons, hypocotyle. Hypocotyle, I told you the region below the cotyledon, and radicle, then root cap is there. Typical dicote embryo. You can see this diagram, and you have to draw it in your copy. It can be asked in board examination. Remember it. Now, structure of dicotyledon embryo. We know that an embryo consists of embryonal axis. Obviously, dicote is there, so 2 cotyledon is there. And then the portion of embryonal axis above the level of cotyledon is called epicotyle. What is that portion? The portion above the cotyledon, and that which develop into plumule. Plumule give rise to shoot. Cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon, that is the hypocotyle, and that develop into radicle or root tip. Root tip is always covered with root cap. Example, you know that groundnut, mango, apple, radish, so many. Now, structure of monocotyledon embryo. That means single cotyledon is there. So here one cotyledon is there which is situated at the corner of the embryonal axis, and this is known as scutellum. Radicle and root cap are situated on the lower end of embryonal axis and enclosed inside a sheath called coleohysa. So radicle is enclosed inside coleohysa. Now epicotyle, portion of the embryo above the level of scutellum, means Wherever scutellum is present, just above it, this is known as epicotyle, and it has shoot apex and few leaf primordia, and that encloses inside the coleoptile. It is tile beta. Acha, that means in short we can say that coleorrhiza and coleoptile are there. Coleorrhiza above the cotyledon, below the cotyledon or below the hypocotyle, that is coleoptile. In its leaf primordia is enclosed. Now seed. What is seed? It is the fertilized and mature ovule that is known as seed, and part of seed, that is seed coat, outermost covering. Then cotyledons are there, you can see. Then embryonal axis. So what are the three parts? Seed coat, cotyledons and embryonal axis. So first, before it, I am going to show you diagram, then I explain it. See this diagram of a seed. Two cotyledons are there. Then hypocotyle, plumule is there. Tegument. Actually, tegument is the seed coat. Then cotyledon, you can see the fleshy leaves. Fleshy leaves are actually the cotyledons. And one more thing I want to tell you, this space, that is a embryonal axis. In between these two, this is a embryonal axis. So seed coat, actually it is double layer and formed by teguments. In teguments, we know that the outer protective covering of ovule, actually that form the seed coat, because mature ovule is only the seed. So outer integument, that form the harsh seed coat called testa. Inner is tegumen. So two layers are there, testa and tegumen. Then cotyledon, embryonic leaves. Yes, I have shown you. These are thick and swollen, filled with food material. Micropyle remain as a small opening. Children, if you see any of the seed, otherwise take one seed in your hand and just see one opening is there. Whenever, for example, gram, if we put it in water, then after few hours it becomes swollen. Why? Because that micropyle opening through that water enter into the seed. So not only water, oxygen also enter into the seed through that opening. Now embryonal axis, it is the stalk actually, which lie between radicle and plumule. Now seed dormancy. Seed dormancy means the inactive stage of the seed when it doesn't germinate, because seed require moisture and oxygen also. So whenever seed become more mature, then it dry up and it undergo the inactive stage. This is known as seed dormancy. Now children, there's a homework. You have to draw diagram of vertical section of maize grain. Types of seed. So seeds are of two types, non-albuminous and albuminous. It is important for the examination point of view, dear children. So non-albuminous, that means in that residual endosperm is not there. Pea groundnut. When we peel out the pea, we can see the seeds but not the fleshy part. So this is known as non-albuminous seeds. Albuminous seed which are having residual endosperm like wheat, maize. And one more term, that perisperm. That means nucellus, we know that sometimes it may persist in the cell called perisperm. Example, in black pepper it is present. Now fruit. Mature ovary is known as fruit. And that outer covering is known as pericarp, which may be fleshy or dry. And pericarp is having three layer: epicarp, meso is actually rich in fibrous, endocarp is the hard part, epi is the outer covering. Types of fruit. True fruits are there, false fruits are there. True fruits, the fruit dried from ovary of a flower only, that is considered as a true fruit, like mango, tomato. False fruit, that means the fruit which develop from ovary along with other floral parts like thalamus is called false fruit. Now what is thalamus? When we see a flower, the swollen part, the swollen base, basal part, that is known as thalamus. Example, apple, cashew nut and strawberry. Now parthenocarpic fruit. So true fruit we discussed, false fruit, now parthenocarpic fruit. The fruit which is developed without fertilization is known as parthenocarpic fruit. That is actually the presence of more auxin hormone. Example, banana that undergo parthenocarpy, it has 7 times more auxin hormone, that is a growth hormone, in comparison to other fruits. So that is why here fruit development take place without fertilization. This process is known as parthenocarpy. And as I have written, it can also be induced through application of growth hormone. Yes, nowadays you have seen that tender fruits can be plucked from the plants, and actually by inducing means we can also induce the parthenocarpy process by applying auxin hormone. See, apomixis. Apomixis is a type of asexual reproduction that imitates sexual reproduction by the formation of seed without fertilization. That is known as apomixis, the formation of seed without fertilization. Now, what are the ways are there for the development of apomictic seed? Mictic seed, that is, first diploid egg is formed without reduction division and develops into embryo without fertilization. Means only diploid egg is there, means haploid structure will not be formed, as without reduction it is formed. That means it all, and zygote is always the first cell which is diploid. So here only diploid cell is there which develop into embryo without fertilization. Some cells of new cellus which are diploid start dividing and without fertilization develop into embryo, like citrus fruit and mango. Especially citrus fruits that undergo apomixis, and it is important with the examination point of view. It can be asked in 3 marks. Significance. It has great significance. It is used in hybrid industry because hybrid seeds are very costly. So if hybrid are made into optimistic seeds, then there is no segregation of character, means characters will not be separated in the hybrid progeny, because fusion is not take place from the diploid cell, only embryo development takes place. So fusion is not there. That means the characteristics remain in the progeny also. So then the farmer need not to spend so much money to purchase hybrid seed, and they can raise the plant year after year from apomictic seeds. So this process has great significance. Now, polyembryony means when more than one embryo occur in a seed, this process is known as polyembryony. In gymnosperm, polyembryony can occur due to cleavage of growing embryo. And in angiosperms, you see orange, lemon, they are having polyembryony only. When we outer covering of the orange seed, if we peel out, then we can see many embryos inside it. Ways of forming polyembryonic seed, or how it can be formed: development of cell like synergids, cell of nucellus, cell of integuments into embryo. Means any cell can be developed into embryo. Formation of more than one embryo sac in an ovule. That means so many embryo sac is formed in such type of seeds, and formation of more than one egg in a embryo sac. These make polyembryonic seeds. So you see it and draw the diagrams wherever necessary. So children, we completed chapter 2. You have to prepare it and draw all the necessary diagrams. Regularly you have to revise the chapter. This chapter is very important for the board exam. Many questions can be asked.